Hello, I am Bouwer van der Eems, Chairman of the Pestalozzi Trust. In this video, I want to appeal to you to join the campaign to stop the attempt by the Department of Basic Education to strip homeschooling parents of their rights. On 13 October 2017, the Department of Basic Education published the Basic Education Ammendment Law, otherwise known as BELA, for public comment. It proposes changes that could severely restrict the freedom of homeschooling parents to choose a type of education in the best interest of their children. One of these changes is that homeschoolers will be forced to use the national curriculum and be assessed on this annually at their own cost. Parents will find it increasingly difficult to choose a wide variety of educational approaches such as unit studies, classic education, Montessori, Charlotte Mason, etc., etc. Also, the assessment fees could also cost families tens of thousands of rands, and it will cost the taxpayer up to 100 million rand to process all these assessments. This is done during times when many families are struggling financially and provincial departments do not have the funds to accommodate all learners in public schools. Another change that is planned is that alternative matric qualifications such as Cambridge and GED will be outlawed. This will make it unaffordable for many home learners to get a matric through distance education and will exclude them from access to tertiary education. But this does not only affect home learners, but also millions of young people that dropped out of the school system without a matric, for which these alternative qualifications are the only way out of poverty. Since the legalization of home education in 1996, it has grown exponentially and became accepted in society as a reputable form of education, while the reputation of public schools reached junk status. However, the penalty for choosing home education without submitting to unreasonable registration conditions is increased 12-fold from 6 months to 6 years. Since parents in jail cannot care for their children anymore, they can also lose custody over their children, and their children will be placed in foster care. After this, serving for 6 years in a jail, these parents will have a criminal record and might not find employment anymore. These harsh punishments are reminiscent of the apartheid government who jailed Andre and Bokkie Mentjies in 1992 because they did not send their children to school. In order to protect your rights, the Trust House now brought together a team of legal and professional advisors to study the bill and drive a campaign to stop it. However, the public is only given until 10 November to comment on this bill, which is less than a month. This is insufficient for a bill with far-reaching consequences on learners and parents. The publication is also done on a time where families are busy with year-end exams and do not have the time to comment on this bill. Therefore, the first thing that we need to do is to request that the cut-off date for comment is extended. The Pestalozzi Trust sent a letter to the Department of Basic Education on 18 October to request an extension. This, however, is not enough. As many as possible parents and organizations must write to the department because they do not react to a single letter. The Pestalozzi Trust published a few posts on social media appealing to parents to write to the department and ask for an extension. The result was that the department was flooded with emails and telephone calls. Due to this, the Trust received a message from the department asking homeschoolers to stop contacting them and wait for the minister to make an announcement on the 27th of October. This is a fantastic result, and I would like to thank everyone that was involved for their support. The next step for homeschooling parents and organizations is to submit their objections. The Pestalozzi Trust has been working in the background to analyze the bill and will be releasing documents that will assist parents to articulate their own objections. To keep up to date with what's happening, join the Facebook group BELA Bill. There are also parents and cottage schools that feel vulnerable and are concerned that the Education Department can use their details to prosecute them if they submit an objection to the bill. Although this is unlikely, there is no guarantee that the department will not resort to such measures. The Pestalozzi Trust is working on a mechanism through which parents and cottage schools can submit objections anonymously to have the voice of the vulnerable be heard. Although the legislative changes appear threatening, parents should not lose confidence. Even in a worst case scenario where the bill is passed without taking any public comments into account, the Pestalozzi Trust will still be able to defend your rights, because homeschooling rights are derived from the Constitution. The Constitution has not changed, and the Constitution has got a higher authority than the SA Schools Act. In order for the Pestalozzi Trust to continue to be able to defend your rights, it's important that parents continue to support the trust. But it is, however, still important that parents support this campaign against the bill. If the homeschooling movement does not protest against this bill, the courts will not be inclined to set aside this legislation in future. There must be no doubts in the eyes of the courts that this bill was steamrolled through Parliament against the wishes of the affected parents and learners. Being active now might influence the court case in future. This campaign is about preserving the rights of parents to educate their children according to their convictions. And Christians can trust that the Lord will help us in this cause. However, this campaign is not only about preserving our freedom, but also about teaching our children how to perform their civic duties in a democratic society. It is not only about home education, but it is home education in itself. Thank you very much.